Hey everybody, one of the final stage of the Codex Chaos Space Marine GMG review. We're going to look at the Creations of Bile. So this is not a Legion, obviously, a lot like the Red Corsairs. This is kind of an addendum. They use the system of like replacing a Legion trait, though, to represent the fact that this is a whole army of just the weird stuff that Fabius Bile's been brewing up in his lab. Now, it's funny because the two short and sweet kind of addendum ones, they don't get a full gamut. They only get 3 Warlord traits, 3 relics, and 4 stratagems. They do get a full Legion trait, though, in secondary objective. And the secondary objective, again, is the same as in the mission pack. So you don't have to worry about it being different. It's not been replaced sort of in advance. Yeah, that was really good. Like, they get a very cool core, just like, boost. So their Legion trait is that they're all experimental enhancements. They get to add 1 to the move characteristic of models with this trait and +1 to their strength as well. So just everybody, even the vehicles, just get +1 moves. Your Defiler moves 9, your Mauler Food moves 11, your Chaos Rhino moves 13, because they all get the Legion tag, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Traitorous Astartes Legion. The Forge Fiend is a Creation of Bile. The Defiler is a Creation of Bile. They get a Legion trait. I'm like 99% sure, because it's just the general rule for being a Chaos Space Marine is you get a Legion trait. The Legion keyword. All Traitorous Astartes units drawn from one of the Legions. When you include a unit with the Legion keyword in your army, you must nominate which Legion it's from. If your army is Battleforged, you gain a Legion trait. So yeah. And the Legion trait goes to, that's Legion keyword. And let me just double check I'm not making things up here. The Legion traits. All Traitorous Astartes, excluding cultists, obviously, and Agents of Chaos. Trait provide the Legion unit from your army is from the same Legion. They gain the trait depending on which Legion they're from. Yeah, that's it. You get the Legion trait. All Legion units in a Legion detachment, excluding cultists, and units described with the Slave to Darkness rule, will gain a Legion trait. Yep. So it looks like your vehicles get them. Unless they're Slaves to Darkness. Do they have that? No, they're not. Slaves to Darkness is, I'm pretty sure, just all of the does that mean, wait a minute, Noctilith Crown? Doesn't get a Legion. Okay, good. Because if it got a Legion trait, I'd be like, it's movement dash. Oh wait, is it movement 1 now? I had a momentary, like, this doesn't actually work, does it? Slaves to Darkness. Yeah, no, the Venom Crawler still is. It's a Heretic Astartes, Traitorous Astartes Legion. The Hellbrood is. I'm like trying to see, because obviously the Chaos Cultists are called it as specifically not getting it because they're just humans. But it looks like everybody does, except for the Demon Prince, I imagine, because he's Slave to Darkness. No, he's Traitorous Astartes. He gets it too. Sweet. And then each time a model of this unit is destroyed by a melee attack, if they haven't fought yet, then they fight before they're removed from play. If any of the model's characteristics change, if it suffers damage, it's considered to have 1 left. So it just always fights before it dies. Then you have your secondary, the Specimens of the Spider. It's a Purge the Enemy progressive. If you select this objective, score victory points at the end of the battle round for each of the following that applies. 3 victory points if 1 or more character or monster units were destroyed by a melee attack made by a Creation of Bile. 2 or more victory points if 1 or more units were destroyed by a melee attack made by a Creation of Bile model from your army during this battle round. So, yeah. So, basically, any regular unit, it's 2 VPs. If it's a character or monster, it's 3 VPs in melee. So you're trying to build a melee army to go and get new specimens from the checkout. At the end of the battle, if 1 or more Astartes, Sanctic Astartes, or Heretic Astartes units were destroyed by a melee attack by a Creation of Bile model from your army during the battle, get an additional VP. So you basically, because there's not going to be that many characters and monsters on the table, there might not be any monsters depending on the army list. There might be a couple characters. Those ones are worth 3, but every other unit you destroy in melee is worth 2. So, but it's for each of these that's true. So you kind of only want to destroy 1 per round. Yeah, because it's 1 or more units. So you can't jump on and destroy everything all at once. You want to be destroying something every round, if possible. But that's still going to only get you to 10. So you need to get to, I guess, at least 2 characters for 6. And then another 4 units in melee. So if you get 6 units total, 2 characters, 4 units, you're gonna get to 14, and then you get your extra one if it's an Astartes model. Then you gotta get to 5, I guess, to get to 15. But if you're building a melee-centric army, then you'll probably get this anyway. You just gotta space out how you kill things. All right, so your Warlord trait, Surgical Precision. When you make a melee attack on a 4+, it auto wounds against anybody, so it doesn't call out vehicles and stuff, and Titanic units is not working. And its AP is improved by 1. So, yeah, any unmodified hit of 4+ auto wounds. So who cares what your strength is, even though it's gonna be +1 anyway. Primed test subject, +1 strength, toughness, and wounds. Twisted regeneration, once per battle when you're destroyed. Take them off, and then mark a point in the battlefield. On a 2+, you come back with D3 wounds remaining. Relics, the Helm of All Seeing. It's a 5+ command point refund each time your opponent spends a command point. And then Living Carapace. It's a Creation of Bile infantry model only, once per battle. When an attack is allocated to you, each time an attack is allocated to the bearer, then the damage is changed to 1 instead of 0. So basically, if you get like a massive damage thing coming into you, you can just turn it on and the bio armor thickens up. And then Hypergrowth Bolts, model the bolt weapon. When you give this relic, select one bolt weapon the bearer is equipped with. That one's considered to be a relic, and each time it's selected to shoot, you can choose the weapon to fire a Hypergrowth Bolt. If you do so, the bearer can only make 1 attack with the weapon that phase, but if it scores a hit, unless it's a vehicle, it automatically wounds, has an AP of -1, and a damage of D3 + 3. And then your stratagems, Monstrous Visages for 1 CP. Core Demonkin or characters from your army can be selected as the target of the attack in the fight phase until the end of the phase. Each time an attack is made against that unit, you're -1 to hit. So you just get like your face goes all freaky. You go all killer clown for a second for 1 VP when someone, or 1 CP when somebody attacks you. Taken Alive, use a stratagem in the fight phase as an epic deed. When the enemy warlord is destroyed by a melee attack by a Creation of Bile model from your army until the end of the battle. Subtract 1 from the leadership characteristic of every model in your opponent's army. Your opponent's army cannot use Insane Bravery, and your opponent cannot use any rules to reroll morale tests. Basically, when the enemy warlord's killed in melee by you for 1 CP, you just turn off like their army's ability to be good at leadership. Then the Masters are watching. Use a stratagem in the command phase. Select 1 Creations of Bile infantry unit from your army. Then select 1 friendly Creation of Bile character model that's visible until the end of the turn. That infantry unit is considered to be in range of any or all of the character's aura abilities. In range of any or all of the following aura abilities. Sorry, Lord of Chaos, which is reroll 1s, Aspire to Glory, and Demagogue. So then auto stimulants, use this for 1 CP. Select 1 Creation of Bile, in the charge phase. Select 1 Creation of Bile unit from your army. That's core until the end of the phase. It's eligible to charge even if they advance. You jack them full of PCP and send them into fight. So it's a pretty shallow selection of stratagems and warlord traits and relics, all kind of dictating around being melee. But that like 4+ auto wounds at AP is pretty great. So like think about giving that to, I don't know, what's just a high damage thing. Give it to, with lots of attacks. Give it to your, I don't know, Demon Prince. give him a relic where he's got the lots of wounds, decent damage. So you do Malefic Talons maybe, so you get 7 attacks. That's not as cool as, let's say, oh, I don't know, my favorite so far, the Lord Discordant. It's because he got such a big upgrade. So it would apply to everything because it's a warlord trait, not just a weapon. So he'd have, oh geez, his bladed limbs, he'd have a total of 14 attacks that on a 4+ to hit would auto wound. So it doesn't really matter what his strength 4 is at AP, and yeah. And then a damage 2 for the Chainglaive and the bladed limbs for all of them. That's pretty great. Yeah, I'd send that Lord Discord into fight just about anybody then. And the AP is improved by 1. So he'd be AP -4 on the Chainglaive, -3 on the bladed limbs, and -1 on the Mecha Tendrils. Just auto wounding. Oh, I do like that. But he's not a Chaos Lord either, is he? Nope. So you could just take 3 of him too, which I think is hilarious. Because he's not a Lord, he's not the Commune, and he's not a Demon Prince. So just take 3 Lord Discordants, even though he's not actually a Chaos Lord. Give one of them that, give the other one the Mortal Wound thing. And send them in. And then again, all of your secondaries are about match play. I think it's going to be a pretty rare army to see on the table. It'll probably lean into things like the new Accursed Cultists, some basic Legionnaires, your Possessed, because they're super fighty as well. Jack them up, send them in, have them take as many melee casualties as you possibly can. But it's kind of a gimmick army, right? It's a Fabius Bile gimmick army. And Fabius himself, I mean, he's pretty cool for what he is. I like the fact that he's you know, one of the original sort of OG bad guys from the Horus Heresy, like Lucius is, that's still around. Where's his model? And Cypher. I wish Cypher was better. Fabius Bile. Yeah, 6 moves now, 6 attacks, leadership 10. The Zyklos Neater, always winning on 2s against non-vehicle and Titanic models. The Chirurgeon with 4 extra attacks. The Rod of Torment, 6 attacks at strength 5, -2, 3 damage. And he can still enhance warriors as an action. So you already have +1 strength base for being from his Legion. You can give him +1 toughness, +1 attacks. And then with these guys' Chirurgeons, you can roll 2d3 and pick which one you want, because if you're already +1 strength, you might not want to be +2. But I mean, if you jack up, so it's core within 3. So you can do Terminators, you can do to Raptors, they're already +1 strength. You can do, but the Terminators would be legit. Jack up a Terminator squad with toughness 5 maybe. Or just give them +1 strength with their cursed weapon, so strength 6, -3. With 4 attacks each. Lots of options. So there it is, the last of the mini codexes, Creation of Bile, and our look at Codex Chaos Space Marine. So I hope you enjoyed that today. It made way more sense to break this into a whole bunch of individual reviews than it was to do it all at once. And yeah, and it was a whole bunch. So we'll see you for more reviews next week. Till then, Mash. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video. There are tons of other games already recorded for you to watch. Click over to my channel page if you haven't already, and have a look through the dozens of playlists full of videos. I guarantee you'll discover a game you haven't seen played before. I put out new videos 7 days a week, and every day is themed to a different genre as I continue to explore the wider world of gaming. Of course, none of that's possible without you, the viewer, so click a like and subscribe if you'd like to stay on top of what's happening here daily. My 2 kids and I are massively grateful to be able to have the flexibility of this job so I can always maximize my time with them. If you want to support me continuing to put out this content, it's only possible because of my amazing backers on Patreon who support the studio, equipment, and model cost, as well as being how I make the bulk of my living. You can also help out by buying a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, a measuring gauge or widget from Death Ray Designs, or buying one of my games and supplements, like Last Days, Gamma Wolves, and Blaster. As a way of showing my appreciation, patrons get early access to new games and supplements that I write throughout the course of the year. Huge thanks for watching, it really does help out, and happy gaming.